Patti Giuliano!
I get a good feeling, yeah.
I think I need to stand up here so you can see me. Is that better? I feel so short over here. I'll probably fall. I shouldn't do that. Where's Rose? Here we go. 25 years. How many people have been here for the 25 years of New Beginnings? Everybody, give them a round of applause. That's amazing. At least, right now in the room, at least there are about 25 of you that raised your hand. So, my topic, my title, my inspiration was That Something. And how many of you know the story of that something? It's in The Bigness of the Fellow Within. And it's a story, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but go read it. It's really very inspirational. And it's a story about a person who does things because it's the right thing to do. How many of us do things because it's the right thing to do? How many of us screw up sometimes? I'll be the first to raise my hand. So BJ talked about slipping and checking and slipping and checking. And for all of us, that's life. We sometimes fall off the wagon and we pick ourselves up and we keep moving ahead. And that's what's really important. And I feel like this is really loud. No? Okay. I feel really loud to me. So, there we go. So, before we look at those people. So, the philosophy. The philosophy is the cornerstone of what we do as chiropractors. And for me, that is my something. And it's infused in every aspect of who I am as a parent, as a chiropractor, as a friend, as a daughter, in every aspect of my life. And I work really hard to stay consistent with that. And sometimes when I'm not, I don't know about you, but it'll hit me. I'll go, oh my God, that is so not in alignment with my philosophy of belief system that there is an intelligence in this universe, and that intelligence knows all, and that within us resides this innate intelligence that knows all. So when things happen to me, when my body doesn't do the things that I want it to do, I don't blame it, I don't call it stupid. I step back and I say, okay, why would the intelligence that knows all have me go through this? And I tell you, if you can look for the blessings in everything that happens, everything, whether it's sickness, disease, whether it's physical, you can't adjust, you can't work, whatever it is, you can't connect with your kids, you're having a hard time financially, whatever it is. There's a reason. There's a reason for everything. And what we all have to do is just keep doing things because we know they're the right thing to do. BJ wrote this, before you read the story of that something, he wrote this about that. And he said, if men or women, I didn't want to put or women and mankind in there, but just know that it means all of us. If men will believe the message you bring, think about the message you're bringing. And then if they will but awaken that something within their souls that now lies asleep. Think about it. People come in to see us and they don't believe that their body can heal. And chiropractic doesn't heal anybody, in case you guys haven't noticed. The healing has to come from inside of them. We remove an impediment that might be blocking that, but the healing comes from inside of them, and so we honor that. So when their body changes, shifts, moves, and their life gets better, it's not chiropractic. It's the life inside of them. And for us to acknowledge that awakens that within them. And isn't that what's so important? Do we want to keep doing things to people from the outside, and have them believe that that's what's healing them? I don't. I want to do what I do and say, Isn't that amazing what your body just did? You say that enough times, it starts awakening that something inside of them. I say if you can make men do this, you will have done more for mankind than any man or any 1,000 men have done in many, many years. So these are my greatest teachers. Peter, first of all, Peter, I love you. My greatest teacher, my best friend. My husband, too, in case those of you who don't know. I am married to that handsome man that was just up here. My daughter, Katie, who those of you who've been around for 25 years, Katie's now 29, and she's engaged. Some of you may or may not have known that. I've been trying to get her married off since she was 12. And no, love her, and just mother-daughter intensity, but she's beautiful, is marrying this amazing, wonderful man who's just as quirky as she is in different ways, and they just are so perfect for each other that I couldn't have asked for any greater blessing for her and our family. And then you can see Christopher on the right there. Christopher got married in June. Yeah. And they have been my greatest teachers. I could tell you story after story. We don't have enough time for that. I do want to talk about 4 aspects of who we are that make a major difference in people's lives. If we can look at each one of these and take it in, mull it around, and see what fits for you, and then do things because it's the right thing to do. First, to embody. Embody who you are, who you be. Thank you, Peter. Peter's going to talk about that later. Sneak preview. Who are you? Who are you as a being? That being that you are needs to come forth and shine in every situation, whether you're a chiropractor, a CA, a spouse, a chiropractic student, a chiropractic lover, any aspect, a person outside of chiropractic. It's really important for us. And the first person in my chiropractic career who taught me that was Dr. Larry Webster. Those of you know Larry Webster, the grandfather of the ICPA, started the ICPA, and what a wonderful man he was, a kind, gentle soul. And he called me into his office once. He was the director of the clinic. I went to Life University, Life College at the time. And I was in clinic. And I would go out and I would meet people and I would bring them in the clinic. Lots and lots of people. I was just really good at that. But I didn't have a whole lot of visits. And he comes up to me one day and he says, "Giuliano, I want to see you in my office." Went in his office and he goes, "What the F are you doing?" I'm like, "Why are you talking to me like that?" He said, "You're bringing people into the clinic. I don't see your visits. What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm giving them to the upper class people because I'm new. They will adjust them a whole lot better than I will." And he said, "You sit your ass down here and I'm going to tell you something." He said, "People are attracted to you because you have something that they need, and they have something that you need, and you will only attract people who need whatever skill level you are at that moment." And he said, "And what we're going to do now so that you can get better at what better adjuster, you're going to start adjusting me." I was like, "No effing way." And I started adjusting him. And after every adjustment, he'd get off the table and say, "That was the best adjustment I ever got." So if you hear that over and over and over again, it does raise your confidence. And if you really embody that everybody who comes to you, who's in your sphere, is someone that's meant to be there, and there is some kind of gift that you will give them and they will give you. Embody who you are. I remember coming out of school, and Hildy Plosker just passed away a couple years ago, I went to visit her up in Vermont because I wanted to know, I wanted to see, how does a woman practice? I'd known a lot of male chiropractors. I didn't know a lot of female chiropractors. And so I went to visit Hildy, and she had an office with a long hallway, probably as long as this whole aisle here, and she had doors. And so I'm in her reception room, and I'm like, oh my God, I wonder what she's wearing. I wonder, how is she gonna talk to people and stuff? And I'm standing here like this, and she comes out one of the doors, and she goes like this, and she looks, she goes, Patti! I mean, the room was filled with people. She's going, Patti Giuliano, oh my God! And she comes running down, she's hugging me, and she's just dressed in like, no fancy clothes or anything. And I learned from Hildy that you can be who you are, and people will still love you and respect you. My mother, on the other hand, said, Patricia, now that you're a doctor, you better dress like a doctor. And I said, Mom, now that I'm a doctor, anything I wear is what a doctor wears. She goes, you need to stop wearing those sweatsuits and stuff. I'm like, my patients don't care. And Eddie Cohen, many of us, our beloved friend Eddie, I remember moving to Boston, and we were going to practice together. And I remember asking Eddie his opinion about something I was wearing. And I did that because I had a boyfriend of 7 years that everything I wore, he'd be like, too short, you look too fat, your hair's too long, whatever. It was always criticism, criticism, criticism. And you guys know me, it's like, I don't know how I put up with that for 7 years. But then I met Peter, so I was blessed for the last 33 years, blessed with someone who tells me every day that I'm wonderful, I'm cute, and what else could you want? And I'm starting to believe it. Just takes a while, thick Italian skull. So Eddie just said, Patti, you look great. Whatever you wear looks great, So I started shifting, and I believe that that's what allowed me to have Peter come into my life. But the big thing that happened was I started liking myself, and then I started loving myself. And to the degree that I started loving myself, I was able to love the people that walked through my door. It is so, so important to feel the love for yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. So the degree you love yourself is the degree that you can love others. So they were my inspiration in that. Am I supposed to point this a certain way? Embrace the people that come into your life, even the ones that really give you a hard time, are not very lovable. You have to dig really deep, and your staff and other patients don't like them. Again, I keep hearing Larry's words. Everybody's there for a reason, something for you to learn, something for them to learn. And from Sheila, I'm learning compassion, because Sheila bugs everybody. She uses 2 coffee cups instead of 1, my staff. I'm like, so we spent 3 cents more on Sheila this week. But she just has this way of grading on people, and the woman doesn't have a lot, and so I just encourage them to have compassion for her. We all have Sheilas in our lives. Harry comes in, and Harry smells, okay? Really bad, and some days worse than others. And I know you all have had that experience with people in your practice. And Harry, he looks like one of the Munster family people. Who's the short one with the Uncle Fester. He looks like Uncle Fester, swear to God. And he combs his hair over, he's bald on the top, and he combs his hair over, and after I adjust him, I comb his hair and I fix his hair for him. And one day I see him sitting, and he's got this eyedropper thing, and he's trying to put the eye drops in his eyes. I'm like, Harry, he has nobody. He's not married, he has nobody in his life. Harry, get back on the table. Let me do that for you. And he lies back on the table, and I put the drops in his eyes. And every time Harry comes in, I put the drops in his eyes. Why? Because it's the kind thing to do. and we always do things that we know we should be doing. So, I educate people. On the first visit, I tell them there are many different flavors of ice cream. Let's find out if we're the flavor of ice cream that you want. If I'm chocolate and you want vanilla, let's figure that out in the consultation so we don't have to go any further. On the second visit, I tell people, this is your history, not your destiny. Who you are today is a culmination of your whole entire life leading up to here. Repetitive stresses, emotional, physical, who knows what it is. Here you are right here today, and this is where we're going to start. And we're going to do whatever we can to allow you to be able to express who you are as best as possible. Recommendations for care. I've had people come in who I've said to them, based on their history and based on their history in chiropractic or not in chiropractic, I think you need to come in every day for as long as it takes until we see some major shifts going on. Repetition, frequency, repetition, frequency. We analyze, we check to see if you need to be adjusted, and then we adjust as needed. But come in and get checked, checked, checked. And Gordy came in every day for 1.5 years until he was able to not walk with his butt out like this, and he was able to walk like this around the block with his wife for the first time in his life without any pain. Analogy for an adjustment. If you need one, I tell people your adjustment, every adjustment's like playing pinball. You pull the plunger, you hit the ball, that's the adjustment. What that ball does in that machine, ding, 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 it's going to be different every time, but I don't have control over it. Your body has control over it. So everything stays consistent with the philosophy. You don't ever make them wrong, never make people wrong. In our self-care workshop, I talk about subluxations and how their body is and how the posture of the body is like a marionette strings. You know, this string might have gotten pulled when you were 2 and 5 and 6, and now your body is just, we got to undo those marionette strings and have them all be working nice and fluidly. Empower yourself. Have your own personal disciplines. Every morning I get up, I meditate. You want to know what my meditation is? And it's not sitting on the toilet. I make my bed. I make my bed. And as I'm making my bed, I'm thinking about my day, and I'm thinking about all the things I'm going to do, all the people I'm going to meet, all the new people. I do all the new patients and the report of findings, the first 2 visits. And I love it. I love those visits, because I get to connect with people and turn them on to chiropractic and the joy that they can have in their lives. You want to empower your practice members. You have a strong body, you have a healthy body, your body knows how to heal you. You have a strong body, you have a healthy body, your body knows how to heal you. You have a strong body, you have a healthy body, your body knows how to heal you. Thank you, Dr. Patti, my headache went away. Thank your body. You have a strong body, you have a healthy body, your body knows how to heal you. Over and over and over. And I've told this story here so many times about my son. We told our kids from the day they were born, you got a strong body, healthy body, your body knows how to heal you, the life inside you knows how to heal you. And when he was 2 and he fell down the stairs and I went run over to pick him up, everything's gonna be okay, Christopher, mommy's here. That's okay, mommy, my body will heal me. Repetition, frequency, repetition, frequency. I also taught my kids that they got the most amazing, wonderful mom on the whole entire planet. I used to make them say it back to me. You're the most wonderful mom on the planet. Not a bad thing. Positive table talk. Positive table talk. Not, oh, your spine's a mess. Oh, your spine's all whatever. Wow. You got some stresses in here. Let's see what we can do to take some stress off your nervous system so your body can function as best as possible. Practice unconditional love, and all else will follow. For that. Thank you.
Patti Giuliano!
Can't have me, I'll be the president one day.